Welcome back to Beyond the Match. Let's talk about what is happening at different big clubs. A lot of big clubs are working so hard this season, this summer to improve their squad. It looks as if there is a scramble between, different clubs. Everybody is trying to improve, which it will give us an idea that next season is going to be harder than last season. Next season is going to be more interesting. Every club is improving. Let's start with our Arsenal Football Club. Arsenal have signed Zubimendi in one transfer window, signed Nogard, sign, agree terms to sign, Noni Madueke, and then Kepa Arrizabalaga. Let me tell you, when Pate and Jorginho left, a lot of Arsenal fans were thinking, they are losing the spine of the team. I said, no, you're not losing the spine of the team because I see no guard as like a player like Henderson. That is how I see no guard. Arsenal fans complained, I see him like Henderson. And what happened that justified my mindset or what I thought is that Brentford signed Henderson to replace Nogard. This is to show you that they are similar players. They are seen as the same thing. So Nogard will come in and do the job Henderson normally does for Liverpool. And then Zubimendi will control the proceedings. And remember, there is Rice already. Rice is a very good player. Merino is a very good player. But I feel like Arsenal, Mikel Arteta is now chopping and changing and trying to get the finished team to be able to help him to win trophy. Remember, this coming season is a crucial season for Arsenal. Very crucial season for Arteta because Arteta feels like the project now needs to deliver and everybody needs to support him. So if Partey leaving, Jorginho leaving, and Nogard and Zubimendi coming in, I can tell you the honest truth. This is an upgrade. They are younger, they are more athletic, they can be able to do a better job. And then if you look at Kepa, how can Arsenal have a quality goalkeeper like Kepa as a backup? That is a win also. Because Neto was at Arsenal before. Neto could not give, Raya a better competition. I believe Kepa will give Raya better competition than Neto. So it's not going to be like Raya will say, okay, I'm an automatic starter. Kepa can give him a better competition because Kepa can pass out the ball from the back. Kepa can make saves. Kepa is also experienced. So let's see what happens there. When it comes to what's it called? When it comes to Noni Madueke, this is the one that raised a lot of euphoria in the social media. I believe Arsenal, the reason Arsenal want to sign Noni is that Noni is a player that is multi-talented. That Mikel Arteta feels like they needed Noni. Arsenal need more players even on the wing. If you leave Arsenal, literally, they need to sign 3 wingers. Because one to deputize for Saka. Another one to deputize for Martinelli. Then Isiam. Then Martinelli is not good enough. They will need an extra one, making it 3. Arsenal are thinking, okay, Noni Madueke can play on the right, on the left. So we'll use one stone to kill 2 birds. So now, Noni can deputize for Saka. And also deputize for Martinelli and also take that role because you never can tell whether Arsenal can be able to reach an agreement with Eze. Yes, right now they're discussing with Eze. They've not started discussing with Crystal Palace. They don't know what Crystal Palace will ask. They don't know the situation of the deal. And when it comes to transfer window, you don't hope on the future. A bed at hand is better than 10,000, in the forest. So the one that they've agreed on is, Noni Madueke, and they made it happen. I believe the only disappointment for Arsenal fans is that they would have wanted Eze first and Gyökeres, and then sign Noni Madueke because the argument is that if you have 52 million to pay for Noni Madueke, why not use it to sign for Gyökeres? But I need to clarify that Arsenal are not paying 52 million upfront cash. Just understand how transfer works. This will be spread across multiple years. And then Gyökeres, you know that Sporting CP president is trying to make the job difficult. So you don't blame Arsenal. I think Arsenal are advanced. Arsenal are trying to advance the deal, talk on it. This kind of deal are difficult to make. The club is haggling for the price. The player side is sorted. There's also agents. There's also a lot of things. I believe Arsenal will finally sign him. But Arsenal fans need to have patience. The club is now trying to metamorphose and get ready, get good players. Kai Havertz and Gyökeres, Noni Madueke and Saka, then Martinelli and Eze. You see, 2 good players in every wing, and Mosquera and Kewo, Saleba and Magales. So Arsenal are moving very, very well. So I think this is an important one. Moving to Real Madrid Football Club. Real Madrid have finally signed, Andres Carreras. Carreras is a player that I think will contribute so much to Xabi Alonso, the way Xabi Alonso wants to play. Xabi Alonso said after losing 4-0 to PSG that Real Madrid needed a total reset. Like that statement, total reset. So it means that, like I said before, if you watch my video, hard decision needs to be made. Players like Kylian Mbappe and Vini Jr., they are good players, but the way Xabi Alonso wants to play, they are not the profile. So Real Madrid can afford to accommodate 1 player, but they cannot accommodate 2 that are passive. They need pressing machine. If you watch Gonzalo, Gonzalo Gasha and Vini Jr. You see that Gasha was pressing everywhere. Vini was more laid down. So if you play Kylian Mbappe and Vini Jr., it's gonna be difficult. Now Carreras is a player that Real Madrid can be able to use going forward. He's also a very good defender, so he can play with Gasha. Ferran Gasha. It means that Mendy is out of the project. That's the way I see it. So if they get now, if Carreras gets into the club, he understands how Real Madrid wants to play. He can contribute going forward. Even when I watch him at this Club World Cup, flying forward, going on attack, back to back, doing things, and that is great for Alonso. For Real Madrid also sent Rafael Obrado to Benfica just to soften the deal. So and Real Madrid will have buyback option or sell on option when it comes to that player. But now Carreras is a new Real Madrid player. But Real Madrid also still need to find balance. Like I said before, Dinhausen and Asensio and Rudiger, if you see the kind of error they committed at the Club World Cup, you see that the defenders are not comfortable playing a high line. They are scared, and that is why once they step out of that defensive zone, come into midfield to play high line, see the mistakes Asensio and Rudiger are making. That is comical errors, and the house also getting a red card. So there's a lot of job needs to be done. But Alonso, like I told Real Madrid fans, it's better that this thing happened at the Club World Cup, because if it had not happened, Alonso might be feeling, oh, everything is okay. The club is now our strategy is best. Now he needs to go and think deep to know that there is still a lot of red flags, and that they are exposed so much. So this is a learning curve. He can now go back and prepare very well before going into the next season. No areas they need to improve. He was able to see the players live, because this is not preseason. This is like a competitive action. So he was able to see, oh, these are the players we have. Look at their characteristics. He felt them. Now he will now sit down with the club to make a decision how they can be able to go forward. And this is very, very important. For Manchester United, Manchester United have a lot of players that they need to sell. Garnacho, Rashford, Malacia. There are many of them. There are many of them. Sancho. So it looks as if the only player that is attracting huge interest right now is Rashford. Barcelona are still interested in Rashford. There is ongoing conversation. They want to sign Rashford. But now the question is that will Barcelona be able to pay Rashford, or are they going to sign him on loan? Remember, Barcelona have wanted to sign Diaz. They don't want to pay anything. Manchester United don't want to pay any more dime of Rashford's salary. They want to sell him outrightly. And it is very, very difficult for clubs to be able to come to terms with Rashford. I think Rashford is on 300k plus. So for him to make a move, he need to reduce his wage, which I don't think he's ready to make. The same thing applies to Sancho. Napoli inquired about Sancho, Juventus, a lot of clubs inquired, but the wage demand is putting them off. And Sancho does not want to reduce his wage. Then there's also Garnacho, that a lot of clubs, Chelsea was touted of being interested in signing him, but nothing is happening right now. There's a lot of rumors, but there's nothing concrete. When it comes to Malacia, it looks as if nobody's trying to buy Malacia. But Manchester United, if you can see how difficult it is for them to complete the signing of Mbemu, it shows you that the club needs to inject cash. And those injection of cash is what they're waiting for, and is delaying the transfer. Because if you allow Rashford for them to live on loan, how do you buy the players? Mbemo is not sealed. And even after Mbemo, Man U wanted to get some other players. They want to say Højlund. There's no concrete offers. Man U need to get money into the club. I think all this club needs to go and learn from Chelsea how Chelsea constantly sell players. Let's see what is going to happen with Manchester United. For Barcelona Football Club, they are working so hard to complete the signing of Bag. Bag is a player Barcelona have agreed terms with. Barcelona were fined by UEFA for breaching the financial play. It looks as if Barcelona are about to complete the Baggy signing. I've already signed also, signed Gasha as a goalkeeper. Barcelona are now pushing. There's another news that Barcelona are interested in Ademola Lookman. 50 million is what Atlanta is requiring for any club that wants to sign Lookman. Barcelona, would they be able to pay 50 million for Lookman? So Barcelona looks as if they're interested in three players, Rashford, Diaz, and Lookman. So it depends on what they see or how they plan to go for it. Deco is on it. They want to improve that wing. If they've been trying with Nico Williams before he failed, they want to improve the wing. And I feel like Barcelona will not sign much players. One or two players is okay, because the club or the squad is very good, apart from 1 or 2 tweaks. And that is it for Barcelona Football Club. Then when it comes to Liverpool Football Club, it's a tragic week for Liverpool. Liverpool are passing through a period of mourning. Diogo Jota lost his life. It's quite a tragic one. Liverpool will be playing preseason with Preston, I think next week. Preston, which will be live. I will also be watching it. But Liverpool, there's a lot of things that are happening at Liverpool. Liverpool have signed Florian Wirtz, signed Frimpong, signed Kekes, like very swift and very direct, attacking the transfer window, buying quality players, improve the squad instantly. But it looks as if after signing these three players, Liverpool slowed down. The reality is that Liverpool needed to sell Nunes. They need to sell Nunes to raise money. And the reality for Liverpool is that if Napoli complete the sale of Victor Osimhen to Galatasaray, Galatasaray have bidded 60-65 million plus add-ons. Napoli have rejected it. Now, Napoli are pushing them to pay the 75 million release clause. Once they get this money, they will rush and come and buy Nunes. Then Liverpool will now have cash to go for strikers. Remember, Liverpool have been interested in Isak, which I think is no longer going to be happening. Newcastle are planning to give Isak number 10. They collected for Wilson. Then Liverpool are interested in Ekitike. They want 100 million. I believe Liverpool are interested in Gyökeres. 9 years. Agreed terms and conditions with Arsenal. So Liverpool will likely use the money to go for other strikers. With now that Diogo Jota is no more, so Liverpool will be going for at least more than one player, and that is interesting. On the other side, if Liverpool were able to sell Nunes as quickly as possible, they can attack the transfer window because, like as the way I say on a slot, he wants to have all the players available before the preseason, and this is very, very interesting. And he wants to train with them. Liverpool wanted to send Nunes to Saudi, but Nunes looks as if he wants to go to Napoli to play with De Bruyne and Antonio Conte, and that is a great one. Then coming to Luis Diaz is a player that the girlfriend have already said goodbye to Liverpool, but since then he has not left. He has been attracting interest from different directions: Saudi, Bayern Munich, Barcelona. The latest is Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich have offered Liverpool 52 million euros to sign Luis Diaz because Bayern Munich are interested in signing a winger. They want to move away from Gnabry, Coman, and all those kind of players. But Liverpool are saying 60 million or nothing. Give us 60 million because Liverpool needed money, not only to balance the books, to buy replacement for Luis Diaz and to also buy a striker. So we are going to be watching this one as it happened. Before now, there's a report that Robertson wants to go to Atletico de Madrid. It looks as if Atletico de Madrid have signed the Bena, another player. So we are going to find a club where Robertson will be able to go because right now there's Simicas, there's Robertson, there's also Kekes, and then on the other side, it looks as if Konate does not want to renew his contract. Real Madrid are pushing to sign Konate. It looks as if Real Madrid wants to sign him. He wants to join Manutd. Like I said before, if you've been following me, if Liverpool failed to sell Konate this summer and he didn't renew his contract, it's finished. Sell him now and buy another player. And the reality is that Real Madrid are trying to offer around 20 to 26 million or thereabouts. This amount is very small, but it's understandable that this player is entering his last 12 months and he wants to run down his contract to join Manutd and go there for free. Liverpool should make a quick decision and sell him instantly. And these are the things that are happening at Liverpool Football Club. Hopefully, the boys can be able to overcome the tragic incidents of losing Jota, and we will start enjoying them. As a Liverpool lover and somebody that appreciates an slot, I believe that these boys will be able to bounce back and try to defend the Premier League, do it for Jota. And this is what I'm thinking. Then for Chelsea, Chelsea have sold Noni Madueke to Arsenal, and then there's possibility for Chelsea to sell Nicholas Jackson. Chelsea have placed Nicholas Jackson on the transfer window. 42 million from AC Milan. Chelsea said no. You see these AC Milan guys. Chelsea wanted to sign Maignan. They said no for 50 million. Now they're bringing 42 million for Chelsea, trying to tell Chelsea that they have a very good relationship. Chelsea will not sell Nicholas Jackson anything less than 60 million because the transfer window, striker market is very, very difficult. You hardly see good strikers on the market right now. So selling Nicholas Jackson will be a good one for Chelsea, but Chelsea want to get a good money so that they can be able to attack transfer market. And this is also giving Chelsea credit to be able to sign, the lap and sign João Pedro as quickly as possible. With them knowing that the transfer market is tough, it's a huge, masterclass signing. And then there will be outgoing like Disasi, there will be Viega, there will be Sterling, there will be, Chilwell, there will be Felix. All these players are going to leave with Datro Fofana. Then we will see whether Chelsea will go for another goalkeeper. So these are everything that is happening around, big clubs. I believe that clubs are making moves to try to better their situation. And then looking at Tottenham Hotspur again. Tottenham Hotspur signing Kudus, signing Gibbs White. This is like a statement signing. I don't think Daniel Levy did this kind of signing for Ange Postecoglou because these players will take Tottenham to the top. Remember, there's Madison, there's Son, there's Romero, there's Van der Ven. The squad is now taking shape, and they're trying to make Thomas Frank a good project so that he can be able to cook. Remember, they're going to Champions League. They've spent in 2 days. Tottenham spent over 100 million. This is something we barely see from Tottenham. Of course, they made so much money from Hurricane sale, and they have a lot of money. I believe they will still go more in the transfer market. There's also Solanke. They will likely buy more players. So it's going to be interesting season next season. Every club is striving and pushing, trying to sign players. For Manchester City, you see Manchester City are about to sell McCarthy. So McCarthy, that Pep Guardiola said before he doesn't want him to leave. It looks as if they're willing to sell him now. Manchester City could have signed Gibbs White, but they decided to invest in other players like Ryan Cheki, sign Gonzalez. We had the rumors that Gonzalez might be leaving Manchester City, but from the latest report, it looks as if there's nothing like that. Manchester City are now quiet in the transfer window. I think they are trying to sign Dumfries because they've signed Aitonori, they've improved the squad, they signed players all over the place. It's remaining to just get number two. I think Dumfries is the player they are trying to sign. But like I said before, it's going to be difficult for Manchester City to embed all these squad members, because this is the first time we are seeing Manchester City make radical changes and buy so many players, at once. But then these are very, very interesting times ahead. Thank you very much for watching, and do well to subscribe to this channel and follow us across other social media channels. Thank you for watching, and see you soon.